G'day, I'm Warwick Schiller, and recently I released a video in here that was called Horses That Changed the Way I Look at Things Part 1, and that was actually about this horse here, Sherlock. And in there I told the story of how he made me see things a bit differently. And then that sparked another journey of seeing things differently. But I'll tell you in this story about the second horse that made me see things differently. It was a Mustang named Cody, and it was at a clinic in Texas. And Cody is 9 years old and he's been out of the wild for 6 years, so he's a Mustang. I said that. The owner of him, Hannah, I think she's had him the whole time, and he does everything okay. You know, he does all the groundwork okay, rides around okay, but every once in a while, out of the blue for no reason at all, he will bolt. And they had never been able to solve that. So they came along to a 3-day clinic in Texas, and the first day was pretty uneventful. I can't remember what we did with him the first day, but the second day, Hannah was disengaging him. So she was going down this side here and asking him to move his hind end over, which is all she was doing. And in the process of doing that, he started blocking her out. So when you do that, you want to start up here. And when she would walk, you got an itch? When she would walk down this side, as she went to walk down, he would kind of turn his head like that and block her out. Now, hopefully Sherlock will do that again. So in the past, what I would have done, if I went to walk down here and he went to block me out like that, I would have reached under here, because I would assume that he's trying to keep me in his right eye, keep me out of his left eye. So in the past, I would have politely reached under here, moved him over like that, which now puts me on this side of him. I haven't moved my feet, big sigh, haven't moved my feet, but it's put me on this side of me, and then I would just go about my business. But I've been, thinking outside the box and reading stuff outside the box or out of the lens of the stuff that I've done. And so what I did was I went to walk down there, and as he went to block me out, I stepped back and I basically said, "I saw that, you didn't like that, did you?" And I kind of waited for him, and I think he was a bit frozen, like he wasn't blinking, his ears weren't working, something like that. And I waited till he gave me some recognition, the fact he was kind of back in the land of the living, and I went to go down there again. And as I went to go down there, good job, Sherlock, you're showing us exactly what he did. He blocked me out, and I just stepped back, waited for him to show some sign of relaxation. There's Sherlock having a lick and a chew right there. That lick and chew tells me right then, even with this horse, when I went to walk down that side, it concerned him a slight bit. He went slightly into this, what the scientists would call the sympathetic nervous system, the beginnings of the fight and flight zone. When I stepped back and told him that I was aware of his concern, he went, "Oh, that's cool," and he relaxed. Okay, so let's get back to Cody. So I went to walk down that side. He blocked me out. I stepped back. I waited till he relaxed. I went again. And after about somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, he would let me walk down this side of him. I'm like, okay. And so I hadn't told him to do anything. I hadn't asked anything of him. All I had done was be aware of when he told me he was concerned about stuff. So then I thought, now what am I going to do? Hey, beautiful. I thought, now what am I going to do? So I thought, I wonder what will happen if I just put my hand on his neck. And as my hand touched his neck, he raised his head up about that far. He kind of went, "Oh, that concerns me a little bit." So when he did, I just took my hand away and took a step back. When he relaxed a bit, I waited, and then I did it again, and I probably did that, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. And then after a while, I could stand in front of him, walk down the side. He didn't block me out. I could put my hand on his neck. He didn't give me that slight head raise. And then so I went, okay, so I went back and I disengaged him, and all that was pretty good. And I don't know, I'd probably work with him for between 25 and 30 minutes, just doing nothing really. I asked him to disengage, but the rest of it I didn't ask him to do anything really. I was just telling him I noticed his concern. So then I said to the lady Hannah, I said, "Just hang on for a minute, I'll go help somebody else." I went over to help somebody else, and about 10 minutes later I heard this collective gasp from everybody at the clinic. Like there was an audible gasp, and I turned around and looked, and this horse has buckled at the knees, laid down and gone to sleep in the arena, and he's almost snoring his head's straight up and down in the dirt, and he's almost snoring little dust clouds. And then he had a roll. Then he got up, and then he had to lay down and went back to sleep again. And so I said to Hannah, "Is that normal?" And she said, "No, I've had him for 6 years and I've never really seen him lay down." And so I recorded a little clip with my phone then of what happened, and so I'll show you that now, and then I'll tell you the rest of the story.
We have got dual rolling horses who don't normally roll on both sides, and one doesn't ever roll. It's contagious, yeah. See, Sherlock did this the first time he laid down. He rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled because he never laid down before. There we go again. Is that the side he doesn't roll on, Lynn? Was that the side he doesn't roll on, or is that the side he does roll on?
No, the other side was. This is the one he always does.
Okay.
That's the weird one.
But here, get up. And... Yeah, this is full-on freaky stuff here, kids. So, okay, so now just wander around there. Yeah, don't be sneaky. Just kind of walk up there and just scratch him on the wither. Okay, so you've never been able to do that before. Good. Now just rub him on the other side. Good. Now move further a bit further back towards his shoulder. No, towards his shoulder, like further back on his body. Further back on his body. Now shorten your lead rope up just a little bit. Good. Don't pull on it. Good. Now just rub on him. Move a little further back along his side. A little further back with your feet. Good. Now step a bit closer to him. Good. Now rub him on that side. Good. Now take your right leg and stick it over him. I'm not joking. I'm deadly serious. Take your right leg and stick it over him. Just rub on him right there. There you go. I'm having a moment. My camera wasn't shaking before, it's shaking now. There you go. I think the new age hippie desensitizing is going to work.
So Hannah had that little sit on him. There probably wasn't a dry eye in the place, including mine. And then he just continued to sleep there, and then till lunchtime, I guess. I have a morning group and afternoon in my clinics, and she was in the morning group, so he slept till lunchtime, and she put him away. And then the next morning she came back in the arena, and she said, "What do you want me to do with him?" And I said, "Oh, just hang on to him and see what happens." And anyway, he lay down and he went to sleep and slept the whole morning of the clinic. And everybody wanted to get a clinic photo, so Hannah ended up sitting on him, and we got the other horses gathered around, and he sat there with Hannah sitting on him, and we took a clinic photo. And so when that happened, and when he was sitting down, I forgot to tell you, when he was laying down, other horses were riding around past him. Nothing really bothered him. When I came home from that, I thought, what the hell really happened right there? So I started researching sleep habits of horses, and we all know that horses can sleep standing up. They have the ability to lock their joints. But what they can't do standing up is get that deep REM sleep, that deep restorative sleep that we all need. And if we don't get it, we're anxious, uptight, irritable, all of those things. And so I'm guessing this poor horse had probably had not had any decent, if any, REM sleep in 6 years since he came out of the wild. He hadn't felt safe enough coming out of the wild since he came out of the wild. And just communicating with him that we noticed those slight little things that bothered him really reset his whole internal landscape. And they went home from there, and it's now 2 years later now, and he has not bolted since. So that is Cody, the horse number 2 in horses that change the way I look at things.